Samyam Prarambhadaha. Let's begin with the main stories. Representatives of private sector say the government has brought their morale down by arresting KMG chairperson Kailash Siroya. CPNUML chair KB Sharma Oli claims Siroya would be released in 3 days. Meeting of the task force formed to seek consensus on the terms of reference of the parliamentary committee to investigate the fraud related to cooperatives ends inconclusive again. Transparency International expresses concern. A team of 23 from Saptari arrived Kathmandu on foot after 25 days. Demands with saving today recent continuous extractions from trial water resources. And Cricket Association Nepal announces 28-member preliminary squad for the ACC Women's Asia Cup led by skipper Indu Verma. The sector has been expressing its concerns over the government trend of arresting business persons and industrialists simply on the basis of complaints. Business persons and industrialists have said that such practice of the government discourages investment from the private sector. They have added that such actions of the government also sent a negative message to the international community. In absence of market demand, the private sector has not been able to increase investments. Despite decrease in interest rate, loans have increased by a small 4.9%. The Nepal Rashtra Bank aims to increase such loans to 11%. Loans have not increased because of lack of demand and the fear among the business persons and industrialists. There is a huge gap between the government assurance of creating a conducive environment for investment and its actions. The government has been arresting business persons and industrialists simply on the basis of complaints in recent time. The private sector has said that such actions against business persons and industrialists would result in losses for the country. Arrest of Kantipur Media Group Chair Kailash Siroya has also been seen as the government's step to discourage the private sector. The Federation of Nepalese Chamber of Commerce and Industries, Confederation of Nepalese Industries and Chamber of Commerce have said that such incidents do not send a positive message and discourage the investors. The private sector is of the understanding that the government, which organizes the investment summit with the objective of increasing investments, has been making arrests to threaten native investors. The private sector has also suggested the government to proceed with actions only after the allegations are proven. The government should and must take actions against those found guilty by law. Positive message is sent only when the government finds someone guilty backed by adequate evidence. However, arrests made without interrogation simply on the basis of complaints do not just deplete the trust on the government, it also discourages investment from the private sector. Federation of Nepali Journalists and other notable figures of the media sector have said that arrest of Kantipur Media Group chairperson Kailash Siroya on the pretext of citizenship was a malicious effort to curtail press freedom and freedom of expression. Notable figures of the media sector have said that Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Home Affairs Ravi Lamichhane was trying to hurt the media sector as news regarding his involvement in fraud of cooperatives were surfacing one after another. They have said that Home Minister Lamichhane had raised the issue of citizenship as the Constitution of Nepal does not allow filing cases against media organizations on the basis of news published by them, and added that the Home Minister believes an attack on the largest media house of the country would automatically threaten the rest. The media sector is of the opinion that Lamichhane not being arrested for investigations while holding dual citizenship when he was appointed the Home Minister for his first term, attack on Kantipur by raising the issue of citizenship number caused by the administrative error and deploying security personnel at a media organization were not normal incidents. Now, chairperson of the largest party of the ruling coalition, CPNUML, KB Sharma Oli, has claimed that Kantipur Media Group chair Kailash Siroya would be released in 3 days. As Dhanusa District Court had issued a 3-day remand to conduct required investigations, CPNUML Chair Oli has claimed that Siroya would be released in 3 days. Addressing a program in Sunsari today, Oli said that the arrest of an individual did not have to create such havoc and criticized those terming Siroya's arrest a wrong move. Oli also did not shy away from saying that his party had fought for press freedom and freedom of expression. Oli also expressed his exclamation over Nepali Congress, saying the party did not issue releases when its own members were arrested, but had rushed to do so when Siroya was held. Oli also made a sarcastic remark saying Nepali Congress had tried to use a cannon against Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Home Affairs Ravi Lamichhane. Intention of the ruling coalition to grant immunity to Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Home Affairs Ravi Lamichhane, who is alleged of involvement in fraud of cooperatives, has delayed the formation of a parliamentary probe committee. Meeting of the task force held to conclude the terms of reference of the committee has ended inconclusively today as well. The task force is to sit for another round of talks tomorrow as main opposition Nepali Congress, which has remained firm in its demand for mandatory inclusion of Lamichhane's name, asked for additional time. At today's meeting of the task force held at the Ministry of Law, Justice and Parliamentary Affairs, members of the ruling coalition reiterated their stance that the name of Home Minister Lamichhane could not be included at any cost. Speaking after the meeting, member of the task force from Nepali Congress, Jivan Pariyar, said that his party remained firm in its demand. Members of the ruling parties in the task force said the discussions were positive and claimed that another round of talk would be held tomorrow after Nepali Congress holds internal discussions. The ruling parties had proposed including the name of the cooperatives demanded by the opposition, but not the name of the Home Minister. Saying Home Minister Lamichhane would be drawn into investigations if found guilty during the probe of crisis-ridden cooperatives, the ruling parties had suggested the opposition to agree to this proposition. Next meeting of the task force, led by Law Minister Padam Giri, is to be held at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. With the task force yet to reach a conclusion, uncertainty persists regarding the meeting of the House of Representatives called for 11 tomorrow. The government has made preparations to end the parliament session if the opposition continues with its obstructions. Transparency International has expressed its interest over the dilemma regarding formation of a parliamentary probe committee to investigate the alleged involvement of Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Home Affairs Ravi Lamichhane in the fraud related to cooperatives. Issuing a release today, Transparency International expressed concerns over the increasing trend of suppressing criminal activities related to corruption, fraud, abuse of public properties and funds backed by political interests in Nepal. Without including a particular incident, Transparency International has expressed its concern on the failure in ensuring legal actions, prohibiting investigations and stopping ongoing probes in cases of such crime. It has said that cases of granting immunity to those in power and releasing those found guilty by the court were increasing in Nepal. In the release, President of Transparency International Nepal, Padmini Pradhananga, has said that abuse of the authority to protect some individuals and to seek vengeance in some others was inappropriate. The entity has also expressed concerns over the arrest of Kantipur Media Group Chair Kailash Siroia and the efforts made to grant immunity to Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Home Affairs Ravi Lamichhane for his alleged involvement in the fraud related to cooperatives. The problem of scarcity of water in the Tarai region, which is home to more than half of the country's population, is at an all-time high. One of the main reasons behind the scarcity is overexploitation of the Tarai region that has resulted in drying up of underground water sources. Likewise, unmanaged urbanization works have also piled up on the problems of the Tarai residents. The government kicked off its program to conserve the Tarai region some 13 years ago. However, the lapse of a decade has failed to produce desired results, as 23 locals from Saptari's Vardaha have walked to the capital for 25 days to draw the government attention towards their plight. They walked for 35 to 40 kilometers per day to reach Maitigar. They say they do not have water for daily use and for irrigation, while the government remains indifferent.
कल में पानी आउँदैन धारा में पानी आउँदैन पहिला त खोला सुकिसकेछ.
There was a time when digging a well for just 10 to 12 feet would give an access to the underground water. However, now the locals say there is no water even when they dig up to 400 feet. They say river waters have also dried up. As a result, some places like Dhanusas Thalkebar and Parsas Birgans are resorting to water supply services.
तराई में जैसा पानी के रास्ता नहीं भेट रहा है, खाना पीना के रास्ता नहीं भर रहा है. हम सुन की लका जीवी सरकार के रास्ता सरकार सुनी नहीं है, देखे नहीं हमरा सुन के अंधेरा सरकार है, बेरा सरकार है. सब दिन से हम सुन 7 साल से जुड़ल छे, इस सरकार के पटक पटक कह रहल छे.
A struggle committee has been drawing the government's attention since 7 years. They even came to the capital demanding the government fulfill its commitment, but the number of crusher industries have only skyrocketed, as have the rate of deforestation and the construction of tall infrastructures in the forest region.
नदीको चाहिँ मापदिन बिनाको चाहिँ यी माफियाहरूले चाहिँ उत्खनन गरिरहेछ यो र भूमि व्यवस्थापनको नाममा चाहिँ नक्कली भूमिहीनहरूलाई चाहिँ वनफरारी गरेर बसाउने काम भइरहेछ र यहाँ हाम्रो चाहिँ सकली भूमिहीन यस्तै रोडमा बस्न बाध्य छ।
It should be recalled, the government since 6 years spent 116.5 million rupees for the Chure conservation project.
सरकारले यसलाई ध्यान दिएर तपाई जनप्रतिनिधिले ध्यान दिएर राम्रोसँग चाहिँ वैज्ञानिक तरिकाले यसलाई छलफल गर्नुपर्ने र छलफल गर्नुपर्ने तपाईको यो सारा देशको लागि जरुरी छ भनेर यसलाई कन्टिन्यू गर्नुपर्ने।
The rise in temperature in Tarai region also has been attributed to the encroachment of the Chure region. While Tarai locals have reached capital protesting against the government apathy, the latter held a two-day dialogue with experts on ways to tackle the impacts of climate change. In our Public Voice segment, we have asked in several provinces what problems have they faced because of exploitation of the Chure region. Let us now take a look at what they had to say.
चुरे समाप्त होने बित्तिकै तराई चाहिँ मरुभूमिकरण हुन जान्छ, जसको प्रत्यक्ष असर हामीलाई खानेपानीमा पर्छ।
चुरे दोहनले समग्र जलवायुमा नै प्रभाव पारेछ।
यता जनकपुरमा 100 फिटमा पानी आउँथ्यो, अहिले 400 फिटमा पनि पानी आउँदैन।
माटोबाट हुने धान, गहुँ, बाली अन्य पदार्थहरू सबै समाप्त भएर जान्छ।
खेतीपाती सबै सुकिरहेछ, पोखरी नदी नालाहरू पनिमा पानी छैन।
वर्षेनिक पानीको समस्या बढ्दै गएको छ।
भित्री मधेसका क्षेत्रहरूमा पानी पर्दाखेरि बाढी पहिरो सँगै आउने एकदमै धेरै सम्भावना छ र त्यो भइराखेको छ।
मानव बस्ती र पानीको मुहानमा समस्या बढ्दै गएको छ।
दुःख त दुःखै छ, अहिले त नजिकमा छैन, घाँस पनि पाउँदैन, दाउरा पनि पाउँदैन।
बेथिती जंगलहरू काटिनेले गर्दाखेरि बाढी पहिरोको नियन्त्रण नहुने,
गाउँ बस्ती वर्षेनी डुबाउने र खेती योग्य जमिनहरू नष्ट हुँदै जाने।
It is now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Before we ask today's question, let us take a look at the result from yesterday's poll. Yesterday we asked, why has the situation for the victims of cooperatives to resort to protest surfaced again? 56% were for A, abuser in power, 21% were for B, government indifference, and 23% were for C, to apply pressure. And here is our today's question. What is your take on the absence of science labs in community schools? Your options are A, government negligence, B, apathy towards science, and C, lack of infrastructure. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. A daring mission by a Kenyan hiker to conquer Mount Everest, the tallest mountain in the world, has ended in death. Cheruiyot Kirui, an accomplished climber who had reached the peak of Mount Kenya more than 10 times, went missing above 8,000 meters on Mount Everest. He was found lifeless in the death zone area above 8,000 meters this morning. Everest Today, which covers mountaineering over the Himalayas and Karakoram with a special focus on 8,000 meters peaks, shared the news of Kenyan mountaineer Cheruiyot Kirui's passing on Mount Everest. We have more news coming up, but right now it is time for yet another short break.
Sports news.
The Cricket Association of Nepal has announced the preliminary squad for the ACC Women's Asia Cup. The National Cricket Governing Body has announced a 28-member squad led by skipper Indu Verma. The squad made public by CAN includes Ruvina Chetri, Sitarana Magar, Kavita Kuar, Samjana Khadka, Kavita Joshi, Kajol Shrestha, Pooja Mahato, Dolly Bhatta, Bindu Rawal, Roma Thapa, Mamata Chaudhary, and Kritika Marasini, alongside Sabnam Rai, Ruby Poddar, Khushi Dongol, Lakshmi Saud, Apsari Begum, Karuna Vandari, Asmina Karmacharya, Sangita Rai, Arati Mahato, Yashoda Vesta, and Soni Pakrin. Bowler of Koshi Province, Alisha Khadia, Helisha Gurung of Bagmati, Sabitri Dhami of Sudur Paschim, and Razmati Oiri of Armed Police Force have been included in the closed camp of the national team for the first time. World Tennis number WTN has been implemented for the first time in Nepal. The World Tennis number is a rating system for all tennis players across the world, creating a global player standard. Organizing a press meet at Saddobato, Nepal Tennis Association informed about the implementation of WTN in Nepal. Nepali tennis players will now be able to know about their skill level, find evenly matched opponents and track their tennis progress. According to ITF Development Officer Jonathan Stubbs, only Abhishek Bastola, Samrakshak Vajracharya and Samyog Vajracharya have been included in the WTN so far. That is all for the moment. Up next is the news in Nepali. Thank you for staying with us. Goodbye for now.